Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for, this is the end of 2022 bonus. We're just going to see what, if anything, wants to come out for you in your first row. You have, this is going to be your general reading for, this is your general row for the rest of the year. You have this turkey spirit. It says, give with gratitude and grace. I love the turkey spirit. Turkeys are symbols of abundance and success as well. Something is very abundant. I'm also getting something is very nutritious as well. I don't mean that as in food, although it could be, Scorpio. I'm getting like there's something that I feel is very fulfilling, and I felt like I needed to take both of these, so we're going to take both cards there. But I feel like there's something that's like very fulfilling to your soul, or, very fulfilling to your soul's growth in this first part of the reading. And I would just go for it, whatever it is. It could be something that you enjoy doing, like an activity, especially with that Ace of Wands. I'm also getting something about a false start on the Ace of Wands as well. So I feel like some of you maybe in the past have experienced some sort of false start in your life. Could be with a person, Knight of Pentacles here. It's like it always reminds me of that movie Rango, with the chameleon where he becomes a sheriff of a town, but he's not really what he says he is. I kind of get that energy on that Knight of Pentacles. I feel like some of you could have maybe dealt with a person who maybe came off super confident, like this turkey right here. But maybe they were just a turkey, right? Maybe they weren't exactly who they said they were. And I feel some of you have dealt with that. And it's like, the weird thing is like I'm getting a mirror reflection popping into my head here where it's almost, but not a mirror. It's so weird. I feel for some of you, it's almost like you could be meeting a new person. It could be at the end of this year, or, it could be just at the beginning of next year, of soon, I would say. Maybe the next 6 months, let's just put it that way. I don't trust psychic timing at all. Plain and simple, universe doesn't wear a watch, right? And what I would say is, it's almost like this person, maybe they kind of, I wouldn't say they remind you of this past person, but maybe you're just in that space where you're kind of like, is this person really who they say they are? Can they really back their stuff up, or are they full of it? And I feel like that's what you're trying to figure out. You have the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. The interesting thing is that I feel like this could be you as well. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with you here, but what I am saying is maybe you're wondering if you have it, if you can, if you have that like razzle dazzle, if you have that spark that you need, right, to do something, especially if you're thinking about like starting a business or a side hustle or something creative with the Ace of Wands. And I kind of feel some of you are breathing new life into something. I feel like I've said this to you a million times over the past like 2 months, where it's almost as if I see you kind of revisiting something that you've done before. And I'm talking about something creative, like work and business. Even if you're retired, you could be working on a creative project or something like that, like writing a book or journaling or whatever it is. But it's like you're going back to it for some reason. I feel like you're just wondering, like, do you have the steak and the sizzle with the Knight of Pentacles? Knight of Pentacles, he has all the wisdom and knowledge he needs. He's got those oak leaves on his helmet, but again, he's not moving. He's being too cautious on the Knight of Pentacles. Part of me is like, if you're thinking about starting something like a YouTube channel or something, maybe you already did it, and you're saying to yourself, like I know I can kind of do it, but it's like, do I have that special sauce? Or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but maybe you feel like there's something special that could really make it more successful. But I would say yes, I feel like you do. You have the Three of Pentacles. For some of you, I feel like you just need help. Three of Pentacles card that says teamwork makes the dream work. So you could be like working with other people, or you could need to work with other people with this energy, and that could be helpful. I also feel like kind of like looking at what is successful would be a good idea for you. I always say, like, I don't recommend that, especially with the astrology the way it is right now. I don't recommend, like exactly copying competitors or comparing yourself, right? So no comparing yourself with this energy. But, I think studying success, looking at what successful people do would be a good idea for you with this energy. For others, again, I kind of get that false start vibe here, but I feel like you're kind of like focusing on yourself anyway, and you're learning to be grateful with that turkey spirit that says give with gratitude and grace. I also feel there could be a new person coming in for you here. This person, let's look into it. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, by the way. You have this influence card. You could have been dealing with a person in the past who was influenced by other people, I also feel like you want to become influential. So this could be in business. Again, I get you like YouTube. I'm wondering if some of you do YouTube or something like that, or a podcast, or maybe you're just like trying to become influential, like a notable expert on something. Maybe you're trying to write a book or start a website or something where you kind of become influential. I would get to work. This is like your year, is what I feel like saying. Not like from now all the way till next year, like through next year, 2023. I feel like now is the time for you to work on something where you could be gaining a lot of influence. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have this Discovery card. See, I feel like, the interesting thing is, as I said mirror at the beginning, I'm wondering if you're attracting a person. I'm wondering if they're not, it's like they're very similar to you. Not like mirroring, but I feel you could be attracting a person who's like a little bit nervous about love because of a past experience. I feel you're a little bit nervous about a past experience about love. This person could also live at a distance. You have the World. You have this card here. You have the Page of Wands. These are all cards of travel. So I do feel for some of you, this could be something that might require travel. That could also be why both people are a little bit nervous. But I don't know. I would go for it. It looks really good. I feel the Discovery card is just kind of saying maybe dip your toes in the water, see what happens. With the Three of Pentacles, you have this Escape card. Yeah, I feel like you dodged a bullet with a past person, number one. It's kind of funny because, again, I feel like you're attracting a person who also dodged a bullet. It's like you had a very similar experience. Didn't I say this to you recently? I'm pretty sure that I said something similar, that you could be like attracting a person where you both went through something very similar to each other. And I feel like you kind of like dodged a bullet here, or, you kind of, I'm not saying you got away with something, but it's almost like you both people in this situation have kind of gotten away with something here. Yeah, looks pretty good to me here, Scorpio. I think you're going in the right direction. Next, in the area of the biggest change that will be coming in for you at the end of the year here, you have this first quarter moon in Scorpio. It says, release your blocks. So, love it. You could be releasing some sort of block here. I feel like you're feeling just good in the sense that your life is more like aligned with your values. And it's kind of funny because I get this like energy of disappointment here, but it's like being disappointed with yourself. I think we have all done things that we're not proud of, in the past, of course, right? That's part of life. But now it's like you feel better because I feel like you feel more in alignment. You have the Queen of Cups, the Strength card, and the Lovers. So I feel like this Lovers is talking about alignment for some reason, not love necessarily. Although you do have the Queen and King of Cups here. So there definitely could be a divine counterpart coming in for you, probably a fellow water sign. You water signs have been all up in everybody's business. Like, so, it could be any sign. I would say that you water signs have all been all up in each other's business as well. So, like every single water sign has had water signs in their reading. So, makes perfect sense to me. But I feel this is talking about alignment. The Lovers can kind of represent your morals, your ethics, your values as well. And when we are in alignment with our values, and we kind of get directed towards the right path, and this is traditionally a card called the Crossroads, and they kind of represented having a choice to make. You've already made the choice, though. You're like, I feel like you're going off into the world here with the Two of Wands. Maybe there's a little bit of hesitation, but I feel like you're choosing expansion based off of that. So really, there's not much to talk about. You have this Strength card here, and again, this is a card of working on yourself. You have that card that says release your blocks. The Strength card is my card of like personal development. This lion could be her inner critic, her inner voice, her inner demons, but its tail is between its legs here, and it's submitting to her. So I feel for a lot of you that you are kind of in control of yourself, is what this card is saying, and I feel like you're being seen as courageous, bold, all these things because of it. You also have the Queen of Cups. Funny enough, I read the Queen of Cups as you. I know that everybody reads the Queen of Cups as Cancer. Doesn't matter. Whatever. I've always read the Queen of Cups as you for whatever reason. And, I always think even like in the Golden Tarot, by the way, Queen of Cups is Scorpio. So, it makes sense to me. But I kind of feel like this is your energy. I feel like you're just showing up in a position of power and strength here, just as yourself. And again, you have the King of Cups in the next row over. And so this could be love. It's like, why not? I feel for some of you, I'm wondering if you don't see potential with this person, or it's like you are interested in a person or they're interested in you, but there's like some sort of blockage here, I feel. But is it going to end the relationship? That hasn't even started yet. I'm not sure. With the Queen of Cups, you have this Order card. I feel like you are bringing order to your life with this energy. I also feel like there's, again, if that message of gaining influence at the beginning of the reading made sense to you, it's like there's an order that has to go in, right? And it's like you can't skip steps, is what I feel like that's saying. With the Strength card, you have this Eccentricity card. I love this card. We're entering into a time of Aquarius. This is Saturn in Aquarius. I think the weirder, the better. Whatever you're into, I would just do it. Like if you're thinking about starting a weird business, or, if you're thinking about expressing yourself online in a certain way, or influence, like building influence, if you want to express yourself on social media in a certain way, then I would try it, because again, it's like the weirdness is going to work right now. With the Lovers, you have this Criticism card. You could have been dealing with a person who was too critical in the past. Could have been a Virgo, for sure. And I feel like that's what you're moving away from. But now, I also feel like you're dealing with a person who criticizes themselves, which is interesting. That could be why they're a little bit nervous about love. It's almost like, I feel like you could be, I hate saying this, but I really feel you could be attracting like an earth angel type person. Someone like very sweet, caring, all those things. And I feel, that they have just been through a lot. And it's like they blame themselves when it's not even their fault. So, that could be like the type of person that you're attracting here. Definitely a new person. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this never-ending story and the serendipity card. I kind of feel like a never-ending story is coming to an end. The serendipity card is kind of like luck, or things happening by luck. And I feel that someone kind of could sweep you off your feet here in love, and that could be the thing that ends the story. Like I said, maybe you also have a story where you criticize yourself, or you think that things are your fault in relationships, and that's like the change here. You have the Queen of Swords, Page of Swords, and the King of Cups. I do feel like some of you could be attracting a person who has children, by the way, or just one child. But you have this King of Cups here. I feel like this could be the person that's coming in for you. Doesn't matter what gender you're interested in. I feel that this is saying that this person has very, I feel like they have very complicated emotions in the best way possible. I feel like they have a lot of emotions. I always say, on the best side of the King of Cups, he is perfectly willing and able to express his emotions, but he might come off as not having emotions. But that's not true. He just has such control over his emotions that maybe he doesn't express them like most people do. So very a good person. I also feel like this person's like an adventurer, like they like to travel, or maybe they move a lot, or maybe they just go on adventures. These could be mental adventures as well. Like maybe they have a lot of interests and things like that. Definitely someone coming in. You have this Page of Swords as well. I kind of feel like this is, for some of you, they could have a child, but for others, I feel that they could just be interested in a lot of stuff. The Page of Swords is kind of like the detective of the tarot. So I feel for some of you, this person could be interested in a lot of things, just in general. And finally, you have this Queen of Swords, which is a card of clarity, and finally seeing things clearly for the first time. She has clouds only halfway up her body. I feel what is maybe a little bit unexpected for you is that you see a change that you need to make in your life. And I feel like this is going to be a pretty pretty big change, and it could be unexpected, not just for you, but for people in your life. So I don't really know that there's anything totally unexpected coming in for you, other than the fact that it could be surprise love coming in for you. But I do feel what's a little bit unexpected is how quickly you could decide to make a change. Let's say you're dating someone long distance, you could decide to move very quickly, or vice versa. They could decide to move very quickly. Let's say that you decide that you want to become more influential. Like I said, it's the way that the change happens could be a lot faster than you think. With the Queen of Swords, you have this restlessness card. So again, kind of like a card of speed, but this right here is a Staff of Hermes, and it represents communication. This card is tied to Mercury. It's sometimes when you know. And so I feel like you just have to, some of you are just kind of going for something. I also feel like working on your communication, if you are trying to gain influence in your life, if you're trying to build an online business or something like that, I feel like working on your communication skills or how you present yourself, probably going to be the thing that leads to the fastest change. With the Page of Swords, you have this practicality card. This card is Capricorn, but it's really popping into my head as Virgo, which is interesting. You have all this Virgo energy here. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. But as far as this practicality card is concerned, I feel like you could be dealing with a person who is very practical, down to earth, very kind of straightforward type of energy. With the King of Cups, you have this acquisition card. Look at two fancy ass people here, Scorpio. It's you're attracting a fancy person. Could be an earth sign as well. You have a lot of earth, you have a lot of water, so take it how it resonates. Could be anything, doesn't matter. And what I would say here is that I feel like you could be attracting someone who works really hard. Again, this person's like an adventurer. I feel like they could even have like multiple businesses, for example. Maybe not. They could also just be like, I would say they're more, if you're wondering like what career does this person have? I would say it's something more adventurous, or it's something maybe like they're a consultant, or maybe it's a job that requires them to travel, or it's a job that requires them to like visit multiple places a day. That's literally popping into my head. So I feel it's a person who's like on the go, but I feel like they acquire things as well. They could be like in sales. They could be like a buyer of things and a seller of things, like a merchant, a street merchant. They could be any of those things, right? But very fancy, I feel. I feel like you could be attracting. This is like power couple vibes for sure. Finally, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this old woman card. It says sadness female on it. You have this triangle card. It says choices and indecision on it. Kind of interesting because, I feel like your future self is saying there's something off with the energy from a past person, by the way. And I feel like you see it now. It's kind of weird that in the future, I feel like your future self is saying you're going to be looking back at a past person. If you're, I don't think you're still dealing with this person, but I feel like there's something off. You almost see them as the wrong energy, whatever that means for you. I don't know. It's popping into my head. Again, general reading could just be an older person that you're dealing with here. I feel that for some of you, your future self is saying, be careful of decisions that you're making. I always tell a story. I have a friend. Every single time he was like about to leave home, like something would magically happen to his mom. And this happened like 20 times. Like she'd end up in the hospital. She'd break her leg. She'd do all these things. And it's like, I could see it. It's like, kind of looks like she's doing these things on purpose, right? Like after the 20th time. So I would be careful. It's like sometimes I think people in life that we maybe who love us, but maybe they have unhealthy attachments to us. Maybe they do things so that because they're, afraid to lose us. And I feel like your future self is kind of warning you against anyone who could be like a little bit manipulative, or who could always be having some sort of magical issue popping up, right? It's definitely popping into my head. You have the Two of Wands, the World, and the Page of Wands. So Two of Wands, he's holding the world in his hands. It's like you're thinking about taking a risk. I almost feel like you're thinking about taking a leap of faith, or you will be thinking about taking a leap of faith in the future. And I am here to tell you that, yes, you should take the leap of faith, the world. It's going to lead to an accomplishment. It's like divinely guided. Remember what I said about like when you know, you know. I feel like some of you it's like almost like you're recognizing your soul in something. And it could be a person, but doesn't have to be. It could also be like a business idea or building influence, doing something. It's like sometimes I think we just like think of something and it's again, lovers, like I was saying, it's like in alignment and it just feels right. This feels right to me. I have no other way to describe it to you. And I also feel like you're being guided to it as well. You see Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, these 4 signs here, kind of represents divine guidance on the World card and also the Wheel of Fortune. But, I feel like you are being kind of divinely guided towards something. And again, it feels right. It's making you very powerful as well. I feel like you're the sorceress in the middle of the card. She is able to, create her own reality. You have the Page of Wands here. Page of Wands is about going on an adventure. I definitely see travel or moving coming up in your reading. And so, obviously you could be traveling or moving here. But let's dig into this here, Scorpio. And let's see. With that Two of Wands, you have this detachment card. Yeah, see, I feel like you are detaching from something toxic for some of you. Like I said, if you have like a person who always kind of like manipulates you into their life, I feel you could be detaching from that. For others, I feel like you're detaching from the past and you're just, moving towards the world. With the World, you have this Lust card. Yeah, I mean, it could be... this is definitely a lusty connection. I'm telling you right now. I kind of feel like some of you won't be able to keep your hands off this person when you meet. If you meet this person, if it's long distance. Doesn't have to be. Again, there just could be distance between the two of you right now because you haven't met them yet. So, definitely a very strong connection. But there's more to it. And again, I feel like that's what you're going to recognize is that there's much more substance to this than maybe what you've experienced in the past. Definitely could be love. With the Page of Wands, you have this Quarrel card. Like I said, I feel people, I feel your future self is warning you against people who try to control your life through manipulation, right? People who try to say, like, don't do this, whatever, who try to get you to live their life. So I'd be careful of that. We're going to pull 6 cards from these Oracle cards to get any other information that you could possibly need at this time. You have this card that says, explore the possibilities. I think at the beginning of the reading, I'm pretty sure I said something about, like, dipping your toes in the water on this discovery card. And, this is like something you're interested in, or maybe you had a false start on something. Again, it feels like a creative project to me. I think that's what I was saying at the beginning of your reading. I don't know, I've done a million readings today, losing my mind as always. And what I would say here is that it's almost like you've tried this before or something. I would try again, is what I'm saying. Next, you have this card that says you're on a journey of discovering your life purpose. Yes, definitely. And again, I feel this could be you gaining a lot of influence, whatever that means for you. It doesn't even have to be influence. I'm not saying, and the funny thing is, I'm not even getting influencer, like not like, it could be social media, but I feel it's more than that. It's like becoming an expert at something, like maybe you're becoming like a sleep expert or something, writing books, like doing that type of thing. Next, you have this card. I literally said this in your reading. Don't compare your life to others. Your journey is your own. I literally said something about not comparing yourself, I think, at the beginning of the reading. So there you go. We're going to pull these money cards now. You have the science card that says keep an open mind. There's something unfolding for you. I think this type of energy is actually very true for everyone right now. We're kind of not, I wouldn't call it a holding pattern, but I would say that for a lot of us, I feel things are in development and kind of behind the scenes. So we're still kind of dealing with this like anticipation energy where I think a lot of us can anticipate. We have that like feeling that something's going to happen, that the shoe is going to drop, but it's like we're all waiting for a change. You have this writer card. I said something about writing a book. Words are magic. Use them to manifest more abundance. So I would definitely use and I'm pretty sure, what does it say down here? Your words have power to influence. I just caught that. There you go. So your words are extremely powerful. Definitely anything you can do, writing affirmations, things like that, very powerful. But again, I also feel like you're gaining influence, possibly with your words. I said that on the Restless card as well, didn't I? So there you go. You have this teacher. It says, teach what you know, even if you aren't an expert. There you go. So could be teaching something to people as well. But that's that. We're going to pull 3 cards now, by the way, and I'm going to answer like a personalish question. So if you have a question, great. Feel free to pause this reading, and I'm going to put these 3 cards together and answer your question. If you don't have a question, that's fine too. I'm going to put all 3 together and answer it like a personalish reading. So let's see here. I'm going to read the cards right now. So pause the reading if you need time to think of a question. You have the Empress, the Knight of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. I feel some of you could be wondering if someone finds you attractive or if someone's going to communicate with you. Yes, you have the Empress there. Are you kidding? With the Six of Pentacles, I kind of feel risk here as well. It's like almost like someone has to take the risk to initiate communication with a person or something along those lines. So don't be afraid to open up here. For others, I feel like you're wondering if you should, again, go back to something that could provide you with a lot of abundance. I would say yes. So I feel there's a lot of abundance available to you that you could be kind of like building, or you could be growing something with that Six of Pentacles as well. I feel there's a lot of success coming in for you in general. For others, again, I feel like someone finds you very attractive here, or will, if you don't know who this person is yet here, Scorpio. You could be meeting this person through business, or, again, I get the feeling on this card here that you two do the same thing. So it's like through business, or maybe you work together. You could also meet this through like a work connection or something like that. But there's something here about like a work connection is what I'm getting here. And again, if you have a business, it's like maybe you go to a conference or something and you meet a person at a conference. I would be opening up to those opportunities as well. Again, one thing that I really didn't stress that is popping into my head now is this right here. It's like I feel you need to put yourself in situations where you can get lucky. It's like if you want love, go out, meet people. That's the only way we can do it. If you want better business, same thing. Go to conferences, go meet people, go network. Those are going to be really, really big opportunities for you, even just at the end of this year. This is one heck of a reading here, Scorpio. I love it. Definitely good things coming in for you. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.